Hey guys, welcome to our channel Zigzag Sailing, where you will be joining Alex and myself, Katie, along with our two staffies, Jasmine and Momo, on our 9-meter home-built wooden fiberglass and epoxy catamaran that took Alex 4 years to build on the island of St. John. We just splashed her back in January of 2024 and are ready to enjoy the fruits of our labor. In this episode, you'll be joining Alex for an electrical tour of our boat, as well as our journey from Les Saints in Guadeloupe over to the city of Pointe-à-Pitre.
So we're gonna look at our electrical system first. And this is the way that we get solar from sun-powered yachts. Flexible solar panels, they're obviously the best for fitting on a bimini. And the little Jackery portable. So we have this 150 watt and then another 50 watt panel that powers our little 100 amp hour. Right there, that's Dakota lithium battery, and there's our little shunt.
Is it 12 volt?
Yeah, this is 12 volt. Says it on the side. And those cables run through this wire gland and up to our little panel that I made as like a removable sort of electrical panel. All the electrical was just an afterthought, as well as being a necessity. I didn't really want to think about how to run wires, so everything is just sort of like run across the ceiling from that light to this, and then from the fan over. It's just like the wires are just exposed in the ceiling, so I don't really have a good way of doing that. It's sort of just all exposed. It's easier to access, and this is all exposed too. I'm sure that I could have done this in a better way, but all these wires are coming from every appliance going into here. I'm sure I could have done that better, more hidden, but it would require more stuff. So to get power from the one hull to the other, it's a bit tricky. So they didn't really, the building plans aren't really specific on how to set up the electrical system. I think they just assume that you're gonna have no electricity at all. So we have a light in the kitchen. We have a fan, and we have another light above our bed there. So we have put the wires through the hull. They come out on this side with a through hull fitting here. A wire gland that goes over across the beam and into the other side with the same method. And these wires are for the solar panels. They're going down the bimini leg. And then we have a bunch of wire glands on this side. One's the autopilot, and 2 of them are for wires that are going inside the hull here, coming out above the knuckle.
To pick up where we left off in the last video, we left you in Les Saints, which our time was so short yet so sweet at the same time. I was able to send all of our family some awesome postcards that we gathered in Guadeloupe, as well as see the goats that ended the source of their Sargasso seaweed problem. It was really awesome to see them munching on this stuff. Then I was able to do some video downloading at the internet cafe there and watched a really sweet Euro cupcake. We rented some e-bikes from this awesome shop for about 50 euros for both of us. We spent about 2 hours biking around the island, chugging some beers and lemonade, and just having a great time. The views were insane, as well as the workout. These hills are no joke, guys. We checked out Fort Napoleon, which was the main historic. After being destroyed by the British in 1809, the fort was rebuilt in 1867 and renamed Fort Napoleon after Napoleon III. It was then used as a military jail and prison during World War II. After biking, we decided to cool off by snorkeling the bay that we were moored in. Since it's required to have a mooring in this bay, the seagrass was pristine, and so was all of the sea life teeming within it. However, we wish we had a little spear gun to attack this lionfish that we saw, but besides that, we had a great time. We enjoyed our last little night out and went to a nice little pizza place and found a cute dog kitty to say hi to. We are going to Pointe-à-Pitre and leaving Les Saints. Got our Guadeloupe flag and our French flag. So we tried to go to the private dock that was in the Airbnb that Alex's parents rented, and Captainerie, the kind of patrol in the marina, did request our paperwork, and we just explained like we don't understand, like we were at a private residence and they didn't explain that they were under the marina's jurisdiction still. So we spent one night on that private dock, and then we just moved out because we knew we didn't have insurance, and without insurance you really can't stay in marinas. After moving the boat the next day, we decided to set out to explore the rest of the island, where we saw as many banana trees as we did roundabouts. Definitely European inspired roads here. So we tried to enter through the waterfall, like the main waterfall in this national park, but no chien, which means no dogs. But whenever we looked it up on All Trails, it didn't say no dogs, which is why we brought our dogs. But we are doing a nice hike around a lake right now, but also very muddy. But it's really rainforesty, which is really awesome.
Pretty sure these are called chicken of the woods, but they look like they're—
Don't touch it.
They look like they're past their prime.
Don't touch it.
Why?
Because it might be poisonous.
No.
Don't eat it!
I'm not gonna eat it. There's no mushroom that's poisonous by touch in the world.
Later we went to the local zoo, but not for the captive animals, but for these really awesome bridges. We decided to skip the animals, but I did bring myself to film the cute little lemurs and then walked across every bridge we could find. We had so much fun.
Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous.
After our weekend visiting Alex's family and getting a nice shower, we went back to boat life.
It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. The hurricane is almost directly south of us. I think it's 70 miles away from hitting Grenada, and this is what it looks like out here. Bit of rain, but it's like we're right on the edge of getting nothing from this at all. We're so lucky that we're here and not any farther south.
up in the side all day as Beryl was passing. Just met with a lot of rain. But we're all nice and cozy in here. Sending really positive vibes to everyone south in Grenada, especially. It's about 4 o'clock now, so it must be hopefully past.
Hurricane Beryl kind of woke us up to the fact that a hurricane can happen anywhere in the Caribbean. There is no safe place to be, but there is safe harbors to be in. Here's the pilot charts that we reference every once in a while. This is Jimmy Cornell's book, The History of Weather Systems.
And he circumnavigated the world multiple times, so he took all of this data himself, pretty sure.
It was a compilation of lots of different data for wind. And we're specifically just going to look at July page. And this is like, you know, a compilation of data from the past 50 years. That little red line, don't know if you can see that, but that is just about at 15 degrees north latitude, and that is the most likely path of storms in July in the Atlantic. So Beryl wasn't that far off of doing this exact line through the Yucatan and Jamaica.
If we were just to have sailed from St. John to Grenada, it would have been kind of shitty for me and not as enjoyable doing like a, what, 5-day passage that would have been? I don't even know.
It would have been really tough, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Doing open ocean for the first time, and I don't think we really care to like push ourselves that much. It's more about the experience and the places that you go and like the things that you see, more than like, I'm gonna get to Grenada and I'm gonna just stay there and hide.
We're also like not judging anybody who did go right to Grenada, because what if you guys have jobs or if you needed to be somewhere, like passing no judgment at all.
No, I think that insurance companies force people to go to Grenada by July 1st. And we want to get farther south than Guadeloupe because the path is, the historical path of hurricanes for July is going right through Guadeloupe, right through Antigua. So in the next week, we're making our way down to Martinique, where even if a hurricane does come, we'll at least have a safe harbor. It is a good harbor. It's just not incredibly safe, because you can't go up the river anymore. If we could go up the river, we'd be super safe, but they don't, the bridges don't open. We just came back to the boat after getting pizza. Some dogs had some like white stuff on their face, and we were like, what is that, slobber?
You can kind of still see it, but Alex is rinsing them off. These guys too, they ate our flour. A good amount, but they also spilled a really good amount. Like, it's definitely because it was in reach. Like, I had it like right here and they just went for it. Great. No more bread.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Name is Momo. Please don't rain harder, come on.
Battling the rain all day long. So I got my quick charcuterie dinner and have been hiding out inside. I did get my hair cut today. Probably 2 hours of brushing all my dreadlocks out, so that was really fun. Ignore the hammering. Alex is making our new bimini. I would film him, but he's naked. By hooking the grommets to the already existing holes. Actually, he just drilled those holes into the bimini, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And this will be so nice because it's been raining so much. But he just hand sewed this over the past 2 days while Hurricane Beryl kept us kind of indoors.
This week we make our way down to Martinique, to St. Pierre. We're going to go on the leeward side of Dominica and pass Portsmouth Bay and stay there for the night before heading over to St. Pierre, Martinique.
Unfortunately, that is all we have for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching this all the way through. We so appreciate every second that is spent watching our channel. We so appreciate any donation of coffee or Patreon support or even just a like or a subscribe. Thank you, guys.